everyone, my name is Sarah and welcome to my channel. As of November 2017, I started a 1-year Buy Nothing challenge, and this is my long overdue 6-month update. So this video is going to be about 5 things that I've learned so far in the past 6 months. If you are interested in a little more detail about things that I may have had to replace or any gifts and things, I'll link a blog post down below that goes into a little more detail about the last 6 months regarding that aspect of the things, but I figured a video about things that I've learned would be a little bit more relevant to everyone and more interesting, especially if you're interested in starting this challenge or if you just started and you're looking for a little more extra motivation. I hope you find this video interesting. The number one thing that I've learned, and it kind of acts as a basis for all the other things that I've learned, is you already have everything that you need. And I said in my last video how I've been wanting to do this no buy challenge for a while and kept kind of putting it off, saying, oh, I'll just wait until I buy this blender or buy, you know, XYZ, then I'll finally be ready to start this challenge. And it kind of clicked in my head that, you know, I can't keep putting it off, waiting till I buy the next thing, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the challenge. So I just kind of started with what I had, and it's been fine. Like, if you kind of think about it, you've been living your life just fine without, you know, buying the brand new blender or upgrading your phone. You've been living your life just fine, moving along, and so that's kind of the mindset that I got into. And after starting this challenge, I really, truly began to realize I already do have everything I need to get through my life, and if there is something I need, I can just borrow or rent. But that kind of goes on to the next point, which is new occasions don't necessarily warrant new things. So when I say new occasions, I mean coming up, either like going on a new vacation or going to a wedding or just something new that's kind of not like your day-to-day life, or like starting a new hobby. I feel like whenever there's a trip coming up or a wedding, we feel the need to buy some new things for this trip, or buy a new dress or shoes or whatever it may be for this new event. And maybe there's 1 or 2 times where, yeah, you do need to buy something, but for the most part you really don't. Like, how many beach trips have we gone on? Do we really need another bathing suit when you have a bunch of bathing suits? And then weddings and stuff, maybe you don't want to be seen in the same dress, but you know, you can always rent dresses online, and you don't really need to go out and buy a new dress to just keep in the back of your closet that you likely won't wear again. And don't be afraid to ask to see if you can borrow something from your friends or your neighbors or your family. I had to go to a few wedding events in the past couple months, and I was able to borrow a dress here and there from my mom and a friend. So don't use a new event or trip as an excuse to go out and buy more things, because you really don't need to. So as I was editing this video, this clip kind of got lost somewhere in the process. So sorry if the lighting is different. My hair is now dry. Anyway, so point number 3 is to use up what you have. And I think the best examples of this is in our pantries and in our bathrooms with toiletries. I feel like oftentimes we tend to go out and we see a new bottle of shampoo or conditioner or soap or whatever that we want to try, and we buy it, and then before we even finished using up whatever we have in our showers already, and it just kind of accumulates. And then same thing with pantry items. I feel like a lot of us just have random bags of like flour and rice and pastas and canned goods and all this kind of stuff. And one of the things that I've learned is to try to just use up what you have first before you go out and kind of restock. And I know sometimes buying things in bulk, we end up with multiples of things, and I think buying certain things in bulk is a great idea if it's something that gets used up quickly, like toilet paper or something that you eat often. But we really don't need to buy a 10-pack of deodorants, because we all know deodorant lasts for months. And just things like that. So being mindful of making sure that you are using up completely or close to using up whatever soap, shampoo, box of rice or whatever before you go out and restock. And maybe have like at most 1 extra in stock for you to reuse, but really just stick to focusing on what you have now and using it all up before you go out and buy more stuff. The fourth thing that I have learned is more of a shift in perspective than anything, and it's viewing shopping as a necessity and not a hobby. So I grew up in the suburbs, and basically the only thing to do there growing up was like hanging out at the mall or going to Starbucks. At least that's what I did as a kid, because I guess I was kind of boring. Growing up, I saw shopping as a hobby. It was something for me to do on the weekends. And now that I look back and have started doing this challenge and completely eliminated the option of shopping as a hobby, it just seems like such a waste of time for me. Now I kind of view shopping as a hobby as a way to spend your free time going into a store to look for things, to spend money on things that you don't need. And just kind of viewing shopping in that way really turned me off to the idea of going to the mall or anything like that. And so now viewing shopping as a necessity just completely changes your perspective on shopping and how you want to spend your free time. Now I kind of just like go in with a list of things I need, I'm in, I'm out, and I can go back to enjoying my life and spending time on hobbies and spending money on things that matter more and are going to add value to my life as opposed to taking up space in my closet. And the last and final lesson that I have for you guys that I've learned in the past 6 months, and it's relevant regardless if you are doing this challenge or not, and that is to look inward and not outward. And I mean that on multiple levels, but on a more physical and materialistic level, look inward at the things that you already own and appreciate them and use up what you have and realize that that's enough. And those are kind of the things that just sum up everything I talked about in the past couple minutes. And that's just like looking inward at what you already have instead of looking outward and feeling that you need to buy more. One of the quotes that I've seen recently in the past couple months that I love is, there are 2 ways to be rich. That is to obtain more or desire less. And I feel like that is very relevant in a material sense. And I feel like this challenge has helped me desire less, and I feel so much more richer in different aspects of my life. I already feel like I have everything I need. I don't feel lacking. And that kind of resonates into more of a mental way of looking inward instead of outward. And that's more of looking inward at your qualities, your character, and letting that define you, as opposed to looking outward for material things that you feel like you need to add that you think defines you as a person, and just allowing yourself to look inward and allowing your personality define you and the qualities and things that you have to offer to the world. Let that define you, and not a new fancy watch or car or brand new phone. And even furthermore, looking inward towards yourself for acceptance and validity and loving yourself, as opposed to looking outward and searching for acceptance and validity and love, and just really looking inward. And I think that's a lesson that anyone can take away regardless if you're doing this challenge or not. And so that kind of closes up the 5 things that I've learned in the past 6 months of buying nothing. And I hope this inspires you, or you've learned something, or if you are doing this challenge, I hope it motivates you and you can kind of begin to shift your perspective on things and material objects, and just shifting your perspective on life. And I hope that it brings you happiness and brings you value into your world. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.